Hey everybody, this is Mr. McKee with NOS 230. I want to go ahead and go over Lesson 16 Lab, which is creating group policy objects. Alright, I'm logged into NetLabs, and I would recommend for this lab, since you got to set up Active Directory and then set up some group policy, well, one group policy, and make some configuration changes. You can make it up to a 3-hour lab reservation. So I made mine like 2.5 hours. Alright, and just remember, last 10 minutes of the reservation, the pod is going to restart, so it's going to log you out at that point. 2 hours should be plenty, but give yourself time in case you make an error. If you have to redo it, it's good practice. Just make another reservation and make it for another 3 hours. Alright, so we're going to be using server 1, which is our server 2012 machine. Go ahead and log into that. Whoops. Default password for that one. Password for this one. So client 1, Windows 10, server 1, server 2012, R2. Alright. And I put some instructions on Moodle you guys can go by. And also I'm going to put this updated Active Directory planner. Alright, so pretty much all this stuff is the same. We're not going to be using DHCP. We're going to set up DNS, Active Directory Domain Services, and we're going to set up a GPO, and I made a little GPO section right here. We're going to make the background change on all our clients when they log into Active Directory, and the location of the image is right there for the background. Alright, we're going to set up an organizational unit named employees. Make sure you put your 3 initials in the beginning, so it would be like ABC employees would be organizational unit. Set up a group, which is your initials, remote users, and finally one user for your test user. There's your test user name. You can use test for the first name, user 1 for the last name. Set up the default password, and you're going to add him to the remote users group, and you'll put him in the employees organizational unit. Alright, and I'll run through that. Everything else is pretty much the same. Your domains will be set up the same as always. Make sure you use your initials for those. Anywhere it has XXX, put your initials. Alright, I'll put that on Moodle so it'll be easier to follow. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, let's go ahead and set up Active Directory. Now I'm just going to let it do the default DNS configuration also. Alright, so Active Directory Domain Services, pick the defaults. Alright, let it do its thing. Now one thing while this is installing, well, I'm going to wait until it installs. It should take a second. Alright. I like to stay busy. Alright, so one thing we do have to set up on this computer. Alright, right click my PC, properties. Alright, right here you have to set your DNS suffix. Well, I'll make mine ntm lab.local. Alright, so that's going to be my DNS suffix. We're going to change the domain, which is also going to be the same, ntmlab.local. Alright. So just leave that where it sits. Go back to server 1. Alright. The role's installed, but now we need to promote the server to a domain controller. Alright. Add a new forest. Let that do its thing. Alright. Type in a password for the directory services restore mode. Retype that in. Alright. Delegation for the DNS server cannot be created. Alright, that's fine. Click next. It's going to create a NetBIOS domain name, and you can put this in on your planner. Just take those 3 X's out. So your initials lab.local, and then your NetBio name, NetBio's name is going to be your initials lab. All right. So mine's NTM lab. All right. Click next. You can review all your configuration settings. Click next. It's going to do a prereq check. All right. While that's doing, all right, everything checks out. It gives you some notes. All right, so let it sit for about 2 minutes. It completed the installation. It's going to restart. Let it go ahead and restart. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can undock it like that. Alright, as soon as this is up, I'm going to go ahead and connect to this Active Directory server from my client 1. Let's see if it does it right now. No. If you get that, more than likely you can't connect to your Active Directory. Getting closer. One thing while I'm thinking about it too, come down here, you've got to put in the DNS server. Go to change adapter settings, right click your interface, go here to TCP/IP version 4, 192.168.30.3 is our DNS, which is our server, Active Directory server also. Make sure that's in there. Alright, that's good. Now let's go back to this. Alright. Our DNS suffix, ntmlab.local. Alright. Connect to the domain, ntmlab.local. Alright. Click that. That shows me I'm getting a connection to my domain controller. Alright, so right now we don't have any remote account set up, but we can log in with the domain name administrator account. So log in with that. Alright. Oh, it helps to type the correct password in. Alright, so it should say welcome to the ntmlab.local. Alright, that's good. Would you like to restart? Sure. Restart now. Alright, while that's restarting, let's go over here to server. You've got to come up here and do Control-Delete. And you can see right there, there's my domain, which shows up as a NetBio's domain name, and then the user I'm logging in with is administrator. Alright, so go ahead and log in. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to go by the instructions I put on Moodle. Alright, go ahead and create an organizational unit named your 3 initials employees. Alright. And probably the easiest way to do this is go down to, make sure you guys can see this, click on your PowerShell icon. Alright. Type in MMC to open a console. Alright. I'm going to save this as my initials console, like that, to the desktop, just to have it there. Alright. Let's add a snap-in for Active Directory users and computers, add that. Go down here to group policy management, add that one. Alright, now it'll show up. Alright, so we have, there's our domain, here's our group policy management. Alright, so right here. Alright, so what we're going to do first, let's go ahead and click on our domain, do a new organizational unit. Alright, so you're going to name that 3 initials employees. Okay, it's just a bit of organizational unit for us. Alright, so now we want to make sure that's selected. Alright, you can do a new group, and our group name is going to be remote users. Alright, it can be a, you can choose the default, or it's going to be a domain local account, or group rather. Alright, NTM remote users. Alright, there's our account. Alright, now also you can put you have to create a user named test user 1. You can create that right here inside the organizational unit. Alright, so new user. Alright, test user 1. Alright, and type in test user 1 for user login on name. Alright, password, just type in your default password for now. Alright, uncheck user must change password at next login. You can check password never expires. Click next. Verify your settings. Alright, there you go. Test user 1, users created. Alright, come up here under remote users. You want to add that user. So if you type in test user 1, check names. Alright, finds it right there. Alright, go ahead and click OK. Alright, so it's in there, everything's in there looking good. Now the one thing though, until you close this down, let's see if I refresh it, it'll show up. Nope. Alright, let's close this, save yes, open it back up. Alright, that organizational unit should show up. Alright, there it goes right there. Alright, so these are the same organizational units. This one's under Active Directory users and computers, and make sure you can verify that, okay, there's my server domain name. Alright, and down here, this is where you're actually going to set up your group policy. Alright, now the group policy, what's going to happen if you go to client 1, log in, and I'm actually going to, well, I take that back. At this point, it really doesn't matter. Alright, we're logging in onto the local computer at this point. Actually, I take that back. Let's do student. Administrator's not set up on this local computer right now. Alright, just use student in the default password. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to File Explorer, C Drive, Windows, Web, Screen, and Image 2. Or what we're going to do, we're going to tell the group policy every time someone in this group, alright, in this organizational unit right here, logs on to Active Directory, it's going to load, this is the background image, alright, image 2. So if you look at properties, there's the complete path, right, locally, image 102 is the file name. Alright, so go over here to server 1, go down to group, make sure you're on group policy management, click on NTM employees, right click it, create a GPO. Alright, and we're going to name it BG change for background change. Alright, click OK. Alright, now let's set it up under link group policy objects. Now right click that, click edit. Alright, now you just got to go follow me through this. Alright, because it's going to be under preference. Well, I'm sorry. Policies, administrative templates, desktop again. Alright, and right here, desktop wallpaper. Alright, this is the group policy we're going to use. Okay, click enabled. Alright, now we're going to use that same path we just used, which is the C drive, Windows, web, screen, image 102.jpg. Wallpaper style is going to be fill. Alright, so make sure it's enabled, make sure your wallpaper path name is correct, make sure wallpaper style is fill, click OK. Alright, and you can go in there and verify if you want to. State shows enabled. Alright, it's good to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, have that set up, and we have test user 1 set up, so we should be good to go. Close that down. Alright, now let's go to client 1, go ahead and log off. Actually, let's do this. Control do Control Alt Delete from here. Sign out. Alright, so click on another user. Alright, it's going to sign you into the NTM lab or your initial lab domain. Use test user 1. Password use set up for test user 1. Alright. Alright, this is the first time you've logged on with this account, so you get the Windows 10 intro screens. Just let it do its thing. Alright, fingers crossed your background should be the same background as I just showed you guys. Okay, so the background did change. Alright, we should be good to go. Now what I'm going to need for screenshots. Alright, let's see. Take a screenshot of the Windows 10 machine displaying the correct background image as well as the results from GP result. Alright, so go down on your Windows 10 client, go in the search box, type in CMD. Alright, and to show the GP, the results of the group policy objects, type in GP result space \V. Oh, let's do a /. There we go. I have that backwards. I'll have to fix that. Alright. So make this a little bit bigger. Alright, so if you look down through here, here's my information. That's my domain name, username, logged on to this computer. Alright, some information about your operating system. Alright, user settings, common name, test user 1, organizational unit NTM employees, domain controller, right there. There's your NTM lab.local, a little bit of information about when the group policy was applied. Alright, it applied it from this domain controller, or if it's just a server, from that server. Alright, shows other stuff like that user is members of these following groups. All right, and then the actual group policy that ran was the BG change, and that's the data from that. All right, what I need a screenshot of, come up here. I'm going to assume that you guys have this correct, but I need a screenshot of this up here. All right, user settings, Control print screen, open up Word. All right, paste that in there. All right, that should be good. You can crop it out a little bit if you want to. All right, make that kind of like that. The big thing is make sure I can see your domain name with your correct initials. All right, for organizational unit, domain controller. All right, that's one screenshot. And let's see. All right, take a screenshot of your MMC displaying both the Active Directory users and computers, as well as group policy management. All right, so go back to server 1. I need to be able to see this. All right, Active Directory users and computers, and be able to see the fully qualified domain name of your domain controller. And down here, group policy management, show that organizational unit and team employees is down there. All right, and it shows that one group policy. So a screenshot of that right there is perfect. Do that. Paste this down here. All right, that looks pretty good. Clean it up a little bit. All right. Drag it. All right, that should be good right there. All right, last screenshot you're going to need to do is take a screenshot of the GPO manager displaying the changes to the configuration of desktop wallpaper. All right, so what you want to do is go to server 1. You can click on, click on that, make this a little bit bigger. All right, so under settings, and you can close that. All right, right here, all right, it shows BG change went into user config, policies, administrator templates, desktop, desktop again, and desktop wallpaper, and it shows that you changed this right here. All right, there's your path. All right, wallpaper style field. Right, use a screenshot of that. That's fine. All right, put that in Word, and that's really it. I like cropping this thing down to exactly where I need it. Kind of like that, kind of like that. All right. Put in Word so you can put 3 screenshots in there. All right, 3 screenshots. You have everything the same, other than your initials will be different, obviously, and you should be good to go. Submit that to under Lab 16 Lab, and you'll be all done. All right, thanks for watching.